Hello. This part of the story is after I graduated high school. So after I graduated high school, things were going alright for a while. I had a good summer with my family, and things were overall alright. Now back in senior year, I met someone in the Overwatch Christmas event, and I made friends with her, and I asked her to play Overwatch again when I saw she was online. She said yes and introduced me to her friends and invited me to their Discord server. I'm going to be using fake names because I don't want to disclose their actual usernames. Her name was Baby, then there was Crab and Jordy. I know the names aren't great and definitely not good, but I'm not good with names, so those are their names. So over time, I got closer to them, but then I started to doubt that they were actually friends. I got paranoid that they weren't really my friends, so I got heated sometimes, saying that they wanted to play with each other and not me. And I didn't trust them. They still stuck by me and helped me improve on things I was doing wrong, and helped me be more thoughtful about how I made them feel. After that, I started working at Food Town, and things were really bad there. I wanted to make friends so bad at work, and I felt like nobody wanted to be friends with me. This girl, her name is Emily, she told me that she would be my friend, and she took me in the back to help me calm down during my breakdown. She would say, "I am your friend." And I did not believe her. Part of me wanted to, but I couldn't. I got her number and got some other people numbers as well, so that I could try to make friends with them. But no matter what, it never felt like that. I saw everyone acting friendly around each other, but I felt like they did not want to be friends with me, and so breakdowns kept occurring. I kept messaging Emily, spamming her with messages like, "Why aren't you responding? Do you really want to be my friend? Why won't you answer me?" And other messages like that. I was so paranoid that people were being fake to me, not showing their true intentions, not wanting to have a friendship with me. One day, I spammed called Emily, and she blocked me. I was so paranoid after that, and breakdowns kept happening. They were worse when Emily was at work as well, because I would keep thinking back to her blocking me. One day it was so bad, and the voices in my head were saying, "Nobody cares about you. Nobody wants to be your friend. Everyone wants you to be alone. That is how you'll always be." And I was in so much pain, I didn't know what to do. Then the voices in my head started saying, "You should kill yourself. Nobody would even shed a tear if you died. It will make all the pain go away, and no one will care if you're gone." And I was breaking down so bad. They took me to the back again, and they told me to go home. And I was off the clock. But then the voices came back, and they started saying, "Go buy a knife and slit your throat here. Nobody's gonna care, so go do it. All the pain will be over. People don't give a crap about you. They'd all be happy if you died. So why not? Go do it. Go do it. Go do it. Go do it." I couldn't stop it. And the only thoughts in my head were those thoughts, so I ended up picking up a knife in the store, and I was going to pay for it and slit my throat in the store. But when I saw, "Is the amount okay?" on the machine, a different thought came into my mind, and it told me, "Is this what you really want?" And I froze, thinking about those words, and I couldn't tell. Do I really want to kill myself? And I started thinking that I just want friends. I just want the pain, the loneliness to go away. That's all I want. So the girl at the counter said, "What's the matter?" And I told her that I was thinking about whether I should buy the knife because of what else it could be used for, hinting at killing myself. She then told me I couldn't buy the knife, and that she would not sell it to me. I ended up crying. Broke down in the store until my father and sister picked me up. The manager told me, he asked me if we could go to the back, but I said no, because I did not trust him. and I thought that he just wanted to get me away from the customers and tell me that I was fired, not to actually comfort me. And I was really depressed. So I started going to therapy. And I also went to a psychiatrist and talked about those times, and me and my father were looking for antidepressants. I kept playing with my online friends, but things with them started getting worse. One time I told Crab that I wanted to die, and how I felt like they did not really care. She kept arguing with me, saying that we do care, to like shut up, stop saying those things. And she called the cops on me and put me in the hospital for a night, and she was pissed at me afterwards. There's many arguments, and I kept telling them how I felt like they didn't want to approach me, didn't want to talk to me, they didn't invite me. And so I started to take notice that they would never invite me, that they would make plans and invite each other. So why wouldn't they invite me? I always had to ask to join. And whenever I would come about how I felt to Baby or Crab, it would never go well. Crab would be angry, telling me that those feelings aren't true, and she'd be pissed at me, literally typing in all caps, almost like yelling at me, like, it's not true, that's not how it is. And with Baby, she would listen and try to help me with the trust issues I had, because I didn't trust them. And, it just never felt like she really cared. Like she really listened to my feelings and acknowledged them. I also talked to Jordy, and, he would say, I understand how you feel, and give me his thoughts. So I actually felt like he was acknowledging my feelings. He was listening to how I felt. Sometime after, I wanted to talk to Bab about how I felt not being invited. So we were in a call. We wanted a call. And I told her, why do you guys invite each other and not me? Why am I different? And she said, we thought that if you want to join, you'd ask. And that hurts so much. They didn't even bother to ask me if I wanted to join, because they thought I'll just be there, that I'll just constantly continue checking and checking and checking to find out when they're online so that I can play with them. And that's what I was doing. And it was breaking me, and I was so paranoid and hurting because of it too. And then there was another time. So they were all online. And I checked. Again, I saw them online. And I went in Overwatch. I asked Baby, can I play? She did not answer, so I kept asking. And I saw that their game ended. I asked again. And then I got a message from Crab in Discord. And she was trying to say that she wanted it to just be them. That she didn't want me there. She wanted it to be just them. So I said, okay. But I went to go ask Baby about it, because to me it felt evasive, like they didn't want me there at all. And what Crab said only made me feel more that way. So I asked her. I asked Baby about it, and she said that Crab was going to talk to me. She was going to message me. So she thought I'd join if I wanted to. So I asked Baby to join after, but she didn't tell me if I could. And it hurt so much. I broke down again, so her upset and sad, because at the moment I felt left out, and like they didn't care if I was there at all. And I knew that things wouldn't change with them. And at one point, I messaged Baby afterward, wanting to talk about that. Wanting to talk about that incident. How that felt, how that made me feel. And she told me that I can't, keep talking to you anymore. I can't keep being your punching bag, even though I was just telling her how I felt. I didn't trust them. They would never invite me. And she said that she just couldn't listen to me anymore. She was saying about that she just couldn't, her anxiety was too up every time she got a message from me saying, not saying, hey, how are you? And she just said that she couldn't. She said that I was, like, it felt like I was trying to manipulate them. And it was awful. Because that's not even what I was doing. I was just telling them how I felt. How I felt left out. How I felt like they didn't want to play with me. How they never invited me. And how that made me feel. And I broke down so bad. It hurt so much. And I'll be honest, I broke down so bad the day after. I broke so bad that night. And for like 2 to 3 days, I was hurting so bad. So I knew that something had to change. I knew that with them things wouldn't change, so I knew that they're not going to be the ones to change. And that I am the one who has to change. It has to be me.